Hi and welcome back to Let's Learn to Sew. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to hem a pair of jeans. This technique will work if you're shortening a pair of store-bought jeans or if you need to hem a pair of jeans that you've sewn from scratch. So what you're going to need are the jeans, some straight pins if you prefer to pin your hems in place, some chalk for marking your cut line. You're going to need an iron that is able to get really hot. Because denim is thick, you want to make sure that you have a good pair of fabric scissors that are able to cut heavy fabric. You're going to need a seam gauge or some way to measure the hem. I prefer to use denim thread, and you can get it in a variety of colors depending on if you want your hem line to match the jeans or you want it to stand out. Traditionally, jeans are hemmed with a gold thread. And probably one of the most important things you'll need is a denim needle. A denim needle is shaped differently from a regular needle, and it's made to puncture and sew that thick, heavy fabric. So the very first thing you need to do is decide how much you need to take off of your jeans or how big of a hem you want. If it's a pair of ready-wear jeans like these that you're just shortening, you want to cut them 1 inch longer than what you want the finished pair of jeans to be. So if you want your finished inseam to be 26 inches, you're going to cut them at 27 inches. You measure inseam is from the inside crotch all the way down to where you want the finished hem to be. Another easy way to do it is take a pair of jeans that already fit, line them up at the crotch, and measure down and mark your hem that way. Take your chalk, draw a line. Again, you want it 1 inch longer than what you want your finished jeans to be. Take some heavy duty fabric scissors and cut along that line. So I've already got mine cut, and I just went ahead because I knew these were going to sit around for a little bit after I cut them, and I just serged around the edge so that it would prevent any fraying. You don't have to do that. So go ahead, get your pants measured and cut, and then you'll be ready to pick up the video where I'm at now. Go ahead, once you've got your jeans cut, you want to get your iron heated up, and you want to turn your jeans wrong side out. Because this is denim, you want to make sure that you have your iron set on the highest setting. It'll usually say cotton on it. So once your iron's heated up, go ahead and you want to take that seam. It's usually on the outer leg that opens up. I'm just going to be using a pressing log. I'm going to stick it in here. You can slide it over the edge of your ironing board, whatever works easiest for you. For the video, this is what works best. And just on this bottom section, I'm going to iron it. And I want to press it open. That's going to reduce bulk when I go to sew this area. Do the same thing to the other leg. You don't have to go all the way up it. I just went up a couple of inches. Now we're ready to go ahead and start forming that hem. So I want a 1 inch hem. And in order to get that nice, thick, bulky looking hem that you see on ready-wear jeans, it rolls twice. So since I want a 1 inch hem, I'm going to do it, roll it twice. I'm going to start off with a 1/2 inch. Measure out that 1/2 inch. And I'm going to pin it in place. And I'm going to work all the way around the jeans. Once you have both legs pinned in place, go ahead, take them over to your ironing board and give them a really good press. You want to make sure that you have a nice crease line along this edge of your hem. Okay, so both of my pant legs have been pressed. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the pins out and give it one more press. Okay, so now here's where you have a couple of options. You could take this over to the machine and stitch it down, or you could just go ahead and fold it under again and press it. What I'm going to do, this is the other option, you can take some Steam-A-Seam, Wonder Under, whatever you want to call it. You can put it under there, fold it down, and just steam. Just put a temporary hem in several places along this first 1/2 inch seam. I'm gonna let that cool. Flip it over. I'm gonna put another strip in here. Make sure that you don't get any of the fusible webbing on your iron because it will make a sticky mess. I'm using this just because I think it's quicker and easier than going over to the machine and stitching it. And I have a lot of it. If I didn't have any, I would probably just go ahead and take it over to the machine and stitch it in place. I wouldn't, you know, go out and get any just to hem some jeans. But you do what you think works best. That's the great thing about sewing. There's a lot of different ways to accomplish the same thing. Okay, so this jean is cooled, and you can see we have it's hemmed in place temporarily. Now, some of these products like this will say that they produce a permanent hem. They do not. After several washings, it is going to start to come apart. So you always, whenever you're using things like Wonder Under, if you're going to wash it a lot or wear it a lot, go ahead and stitch it down. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fold it under again. And this is, again, since we're folding under that 1/2 inch, this is what's going to give us that full inch that we added to our measurement. Just work your way around the entire hem of the pants, pressing it. And then you want to go ahead and do the same thing to the other leg. And make sure that you press with it where this is pressed open, that you folded that down into it. You don't want this folded over because that helps eliminate some of the bulk when we go to sew. So before you actually stitch these down, you do want to go ahead and try them on if you're not sure about your measurement, because it's a lot easier to make adjustments to the hem now than after you actually stitch it in place. Okay, so now that your hems have been pressed into place, it's time to go ahead, get your jean needle inserted in your sewing machine, get your bobbin and the top of your sewing machine, thread it up with the thread that you want to use for your jeans. Okay, so I'm over at my machine. I've taken off my accessory tray so that my free arm is exposed. I've got my denim needle. I'm going to go ahead and get it inserted. For my machine, the flat section of the needle goes to the back. I'm going to tighten it down. So what I like to do is start just past that really thick seam, that flat felled seam. Decide where you want your needle to fall and find a place to line up to be able to stay straight. I'm going to take a few stitches. Then I'm going to back stitch. You do not want to back stitch back over that thick area though, just a few stitches. We're going to go all the way around the hem. Make sure when you get to that seam that's pressed open that you keep it open. and how easy it is to sew denim, this hem, especially these thick areas, is going to depend on your machine. If your machine is struggling a little bit, just walk it or use a Gina-majig. For walking it, you're just going to turn the hand wheel towards you slowly. Okay, so I'm back almost to where I started. I'm at that really thick area. So what I'm going to do is my foot will actually raise quite a bit on its own. So I don't need a Gina-majig, but I am going to just slowly turn the hand wheel towards me, and I'm going to walk this thicker stitch. Back to where I started, so I'm in a back stitch. Trim your threads and do the same thing on the other leg. So I'm back over at my cutting table. This is our finished seam, and this is that thick area that we walked by turning the hand wheel, and even there where my back stitch is. It's nice and clean. I know there's a lot of tutorials on how to hem your jeans by repurposing the original hem. The reason I like to do it this way is because you end up with less bulk, I think, but also if you're doing your own clothing, which we are about to do a series on sewing your own jeans, there's not an original hem to use, so you need to know how to create that nice thicker hem that is traditionally seen on jeans. If you have any questions about hemming your jeans, let me know down in the comment section and I'll be happy to answer them. If you enjoyed the video, hope you'll give us a thumbs up. And if you're not already a subscriber, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And as always, we'd love it if you visit us at letslearntosew.com.